Alright guys, it's been a while, but I finally got it. So what we're going to go over today is actually the Mühle R41. I've got it down here in my stand right here, which I'll show you in a little bit, but I finally got one. So a couple months ago we did a little safety razor shaving video with the 3D printed razor that ModBot gave me. This thing is awesome, and I think I've been spoiled by it because this is the most aggressive razor I've ever had. This thing literally, I can't even explain it to you. So when I got the R41 Mühle, I was like, is it going to match up to how aggressive this is? Because this is supposedly one of the most aggressive safety razors on the market right now, other than the prior 2011 model, which I've been trying to get my hands on, but they go for like 300 bucks on eBay. Tough break. So let's get into it here and let's try it out. So the best way I feel shaving is either right after you take a shower first thing in the morning, or after you have a hot towel on your face for quite a while. So one of the things that I like to do is take a shower right before shaving. I just feel like it gets everything softened up. It's not so abrasive. Sometimes when you come in and just put a little water on your face without using like a damp hot towel or anything like that, it really tugs. It really takes a little bit extra to get the blade to go through, and then you have more cuts and it's just really irritating. So right after the shower is good. What I really love about using a double-edged safety razor is that these are super cheap. I'm going to be using Astra in the R41 today, and you can get that like for 15 bucks off Amazon. So here we go. Let's put the new blade. And there we are, we're all set putting the new razor in. You're set to go, nice and fresh, super sharp. It's not too bad. Taking the razor out isn't too bad at all. It's just hard to do when you're actually watching yourself for a camera shot and all that stuff. So super easy to handle. This razor is so heavy to me. It's great, it's fantastic. I love the handle. My hands are medium to large. You can see how it matches up to my hands here. It feels great. It feels well balanced. I absolutely love how the side of the double-edged blade doesn't poke out of this. It does ever so slightly. You can kind of see in there that it just barely comes out, but it's not too bad at all. It's fantastic. It's got a little residue on there from the shave from a couple days ago, 3-4 days. I think it's about 3 days now since I last shaved with this, and it was fantastic. I only did a single pass. Today we're going to do a 3. We're going to do with the grain, cross grain, and against the grain. Now my facial hair, you guys know, it's more of a large diameter hair, but not as dense as other folks. That being said, we're going to be using RazoRock's essential oil of lime. I love this stuff. I love citrus smells in general. I usually look for that in colognes, so this is fantastic. Smells great in the morning. So we're going to go ahead and apply some warm water, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to take some of this bloom water here. It doesn't take too much of this bloom water to get a nice little like base. I wouldn't even say lather, but it's, at least gets it applied, starts conditioning the face a little bit. Definitely makes it easier to lather up real fast on the face once you hit it with the loaded brush. A synthetic brush, it's the RazoRock Disruptor. Really big knot here. I forget the width and all that, but I love this thing. It's $10. Just go to RazoRock.com and get yourself a decent sized brush for 10 bucks. With that being said as well, I'm not very experienced with brushes. I saw Nick Shaves on his channel. He introduced this on one of his videos. I'm like, I have to have one. I got one and it's fantastic. Synthetic, so it's not as soft as like a badger brush, which I do enjoy the softness of like the real hair and all that, but this works pretty darn well. You don't really have to pre-soak these brushes. Just run under a little bit of water, shake it out just a little bit. So what I've been doing is just pushing down on the brush just a little bit to spread it out. And you really don't have to spend too much time to load this brush with this stuff. Also, I actually didn't let this soap dry out 100%. I only let it dry out for like half a day or something like that, and I put the cap back on. So it's really soft in there. You'll notice that when you don't dry out your soaps or your pucks or anything, they'll start to soften up. Push down a little bit more. This is getting loaded up pretty heavily. There we go. Pretty good. It's not a ton, but I don't take too much. I've kind of got a slender face, so it really doesn't take too much to cover. So go on. And I've gotten better at it. Before in my other videos, I liked it slick, like thin and sticky, but I've gotten better at getting it more lathered up in the brush before it even touches the face. This could use a little bit more water, but we'll keep it at that. Since the puck was so soft, it loaded up the brush like super well. So there's a lot in there. That's going to be for more than 3 passes. I used to use really hot water for everything, like the brush, bloom of the puck there. I used to use it just super hot, but now I went to warm, lukewarm, warm water, and that just feels better. Less irritation on the face. It's not, it's better for everything in general. First pass, I really don't do this a lot where I hold and do it, but just for the video, this thing feels so nice. It's really, for me, this razor is not that aggressive. It is, don't get me wrong, but it's not brutally aggressive. If you're used to this thing, this kind of thing, it is not bad. I will say the best parts where you can really feel the aggressiveness of the R41 is right around the mouth and chin area. One thing I've been getting better at with wet shaving and all that is that the first pass I used to be super aggressive with it, with the razor itself, depending, it didn't matter what it was, I just slammed it on my face and then would keep continuing because it gets easier every pass. But I used to press really hard with every razor I had, and that was causing extreme irritation, but I felt like that was the best cut, like, oh, get it down the first way, get it down again the second way, as extreme as possible. So in the last couple months I've actually learned to just let the razor do more of the work every pass. And really you can be a tad bit, for some of us, I don't know about everyone, but you can be a little bit aggressive going against the grain. For me, that's just for me. Some of you can't go against the grain, period, and that's understandable. I'm just gonna add a little bit of water to the brush, just a couple drops, and we'll go on cross grain. See, it doesn't take very long at all. I tried a feather in here. I'm surprised. I'm getting really used to the Astras because the feathers now feel thicker to me. They're really sharp, but they don't glide as easy to me. This is just something I picked up over using Astras for the last couple months. I ran out of all of my feathers, ordered a big box of Astras, and I've just noticed that the Astras just glide so easily. I don't know if it's just me, but feathers feel like they're thicker. Well, they are thicker, but it just feels like they don't glide as smooth. That might be just the way I'm prepping. With this brush, I mean, you can swirl, I've noticed. I don't know if it's just, you can swirl and get really aggressive with it, but I feel it kind of like pushes the leather around. So I just go back and forth like this, and you can get it really whipped up. Okay, cross grain. We're gonna do like inward on both sides like that. The handle does get a little slippery if you get a bunch of water on it and a bunch of the soap suds and all that on there. It does get a little bit slippery, but not bad. It's not bad at all. You can hear it. So it does get a little slippery, but it still feels really nice. One thing I've been doing too, you guys may think this is weird, but sometimes on the chin, if you get enough soap in the comb, this may be unacceptable to some of you guys, but you can kind of back the razor off and kind of reapply it, if you will. You can kind of see there some trouble areas. I've just been backing off the comb of the razor and then pushing it back onto my face like that. You can see that, and then redoing it. And that's been working really well for me for super fine areas, like just under my lip. Once again, barely any pressure. You can really feel the aggressiveness of the Mühle R41 around the mouth, chin area. I really can't go cross grain on my neck because that's against the grain, so we'll just go ahead and go straight down once again. That's cross grain for the right side of my neck. This is also against the grain going down, so this is going something here. This is going against the grain in one area, it's cross grain in another area, and with the grain in another area. So this is very strange right in here on my left side. So we'll just kind of go with it a little bit here. Okay. Not bad. That'd be a good day shave, a good shave for a day or two. It's not 100%. You can still see certain areas. Like I have certain areas here towards the cheek that still poke out a little bit. I also have certain chin areas that shave better than others, and it kind of these little tufts here. It's all smooth. Like if you looked at me in real life, not on camera, I would look like I was clean shaven, you know, from afar. But when you get up close, maybe like up person to person, and you paid attention to that kind of thing, you could see stuff right here, 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 kind of right there as well, and a couple neck things. So we're going to go against the grain all the way around. And since we've done a couple passes already, it's not going to be a problem. I will say my own skin is super pliable, super, it's just so easy to cut no matter what razor. Even cartridge razors, even electric razors on my neck mess up my neck pretty hard. I can't win. It's just one of those things. No matter what, you'll see any of these videos where I do shaving and all that, my neck on the right side is the most susceptible to any kind of damage or anything from razors or irritation. Right here, these two areas. So I can't get away with it. The only way I could probably do it is if I had some laser razor or something like that. Final pass. Or second to final. Like this is the final big pass. I'll spot around and see if I can grab anything else. But usually I'm bad, and I use the alum block. I'll do just 2 passes. I'll do it with the grain and against it. My neck suffers, but that's about it. I bring it up high on my cheekbones here because I get strays all the way up into my eye. Little tiny ones. It just bothers me when I look in the mirror, but not a lot of people notice it. And a lot of you guys have that as well. Put a little water on there. It's getting a little dried out. It's about 87 degrees Fahrenheit here today. Okay, against the grain. I always start on my left side on my kind of jawline right here. And I always do the sideburn first because that's the most pleasing to do for me for some reason. And this, I have to work for the next 3 days straight, and I always do like a BBS shave against the grain, or against the grain BBS, so I don't have to worry about shaving. And then the days off I have, I don't have to shave until the night. I usually shave at night before I go into work. So I can just get up, shower, eat breakfast, and head in. So that, as you can see, it's one of those shaves where you can tell the person has facial hair. Like you can see the lining of where the beard would be, but it is completely smooth. Some problem areas I have going against the grain that I can't get down is right here on both sides, because the hair grows all over the place directionally. Usually I can go against the grain on the mustache area pretty easily, but today it's a little coarser, probably because I didn't put any pressure on it today while doing the other 2 passes. Another area you got to watch for with something like this, with this kind of razor, is right under the chin. We'll spot shave that out. Got a little area here. This lately, I've been shaving with a shavette. It's not here in the bathroom with me today. It's over in the other room because I've been trying to design a stand for one and like a little clip for the side of a barbasol. The side of a barbicide container like I've got right here down the corner. So it's in my room. So I got a little spot here and here, and that's because I actually haven't used too much pressure this time in this video prior to doing the against the grain. So now, so you don't waste anything, you've got all this nice lather here. You can just take it and pinch the brush here and pull it up, and then there's not too much left in there. And then you can kind of spot shave, if you will. You can feel around chin and mustache area. Typical for a lot of guys. It's a little coarser, a little denser. Not too bad. I feel a spot right here on the side of the face. It's nice and smooth. That's really decent. Since I'm left-handed, the right side of my face never gets the same treatment. Right there a little bit. Just gonna rinse off the rest of it here. And being in my 30s, I still have blemishes, surprisingly. So a lot of that contributes to me nicking myself a little bit. So I just don't have clear skin at the moment. Some days I get lucky, but most of the time, the only time I really nick myself is on a blemish or something. I'll say the aggressiveness you feel of the razor is probably the more passes you do, the more you feel the aggressiveness of the razor. To me, it feels good for aggressive razors. Being spoiled by straight razors and like shavettes and this 3D printed razor that I have here, this thing will absolutely destroy your face. As it, not in a bad way, but if you're being silly with it or not paying attention, not taking your time, it just slices right into you easily, certain angles. So I got used to that. I liked it so much. I'm absolutely infatuated, as you guys already know, of 3D printed objects and things of that. And since I'm also obsessed with wet shaving and all that, I was like, oh my gosh, the best of both worlds. So I used that for quite a while until I bought, I believe this is the 15C Merkur. I thought this thing would be more aggressive, and I got it, and this is one of the smoothest razors I've had for an open comb. Gosh, it works well, but I have to use more passes with it than the 3D printed razor. And this, I would say, is just a bit milder than this 3D printed razor right here. I'm actually printing another one from a different designer on Thingiverse, and we're going to try that out with the most aggressive comb and see if it matches up to this beast right here. You can see the blade exposure even is just insane, and it's got a huge comb on it, and the gap is huge. You can't see it on camera, but I mean, it's a huge gap. I'm looking, it's like, what the heck? It's a Grand Canyon of gaps of safety razors. So that's good enough. Minimal irritation, a little bit up here in the mustache area. That's normal for me, mustache area and neck. But this came out really well. I don't see, sometimes I do this too, is I'll touch up here with just the residue. It's gonna be good for 2 days, 3 days. 3 days is stretching it for me, but that'll be good. So I'm just gonna shake off the razor. One thing I'll say too, another tip I'll give you is do not leave your plated razors in barbicide. I was all like, what's it gonna do? What's it gonna? I'm gonna just leave it in there, you know, down in this thing. Don't do it. It like after time, it will actually peel off the plating. You'll actually lose plating on certain areas of the razor. Mine was, you can't see it because there's residue on this Merkur here in the bottom of one of these pegs here. You can't really see it, but it eroded. It like eroded and it broke right off. It like ate right into it. You can't see it because there's soap residue on there. But sadly, just don't do it. I was all like, oh, it'll be fine. I remember reading a forum somewhere, wet shaving forum, like, don't ever leave your stuff soaking at 10 minutes at max. I'm like, okay, that's, I don't know why only 10 minutes, but that's something else I learned as well. Just let it sit in there for about 10 minutes, take it out, shake it off, rinse it, and then dry it as best you can. So we're gonna rinse off the Mühle, and we're gonna drop it in here for 10 minutes and clean up. One thing I used to do that would irritate my face too is when I was drying off my face, I'd rub it really, you know, and rub it, and that really irritates your face after you've shaved with an aggressive razor. Any razor, for example, like we're using here. So just pat your face. That does really well. It doesn't irritate the face as much. So we'll give you a previous shot, and then we can move in. You can see that I'm good to go. I already had this irritation right here, so that's been there for a little bit. But yeah, the Mühle R41 does a fantastic job. It feels great. I don't know why I keep using the term smooth, but it's definitely pretty smooth compared to this, and using shavettes and getting used to that and all that. It's actually fantastic. Worth every penny to pick up one of those. If you don't have one, you're worried about it being too aggressive. I mean, if you're new to this, don't worry, just get one. Try it, use it, get used to it, and you'll love it. It's my daily driver now, and that's all I ever use, except for experimentation with this stuff here, 3D printed objects and all that. Guys, thanks for catching the video with me here. We'll definitely have more like this in the future, and we'll be doing a lot of 3D printing tests with some of the razors. They're right on the printer right now, and we'll do that in the near future. You guys take care, and we'll see you later.